The seismographs recorded it first. A pattern, regular, consistent. Every 43 seconds, a micro tremor emanating from a specific point in the Ural Mountains. Magnitude too small to feel, too small to cause damage, but perfectly rhythmic. Like a heartbeat, like breathing. This is the archive of Geological Survey Site 77. Code designation, Breathing Mountain. The place where the earth inhales and exhales. The place where something beneath the rock is still alive. The official record is 9 pages, dated April 1979. Marked for destruction, but never destroyed. Geological Survey Site 77. Established March 1979. Ural Mountains. 58.4 degrees north, 59.2 degrees east. Purpose: investigation of anomalous seismic activity. Finding: natural gas pocket creating pressure differential and regular release pattern. Recommendation: site abandoned due to low commercial value. Survey concluded May 1979. That's the cover story. The explanation designed for people who don't read carefully. Natural gas, pressure differential, nothing unusual. But natural gas doesn't breathe. Natural gas doesn't adjust its rhythm when you get close. Natural gas doesn't stop breathing when you're watching and resume when you look away. Let me show you what actually happened at Site 77. March 12, 1979. A routine seismic survey in the southern Urals detected the anomaly. Dr. Pyotr Volkov, the lead geologist, noted it in his field report.
Seismograph station UL-17 recording. Regular micro tremors originating from coordinates 58.4 degrees north, 59.2 degrees east. Tremors occur at precise 43-second intervals. Magnitude 0.8 to 1.2 on Richter scale. Pattern has persisted for minimum 72 hours based on recorded data. This regularity is inconsistent with known geological processes. Recommend immediate investigation.
A team of 6 geologists was dispatched to the coordinates. They arrived on March 18th and established a temporary camp. The location was unremarkable. A rocky hillside in a remote valley. No visible volcanic activity. No obvious gas vents. No surface features that would explain regular seismic events. But when they set up their equipment and began monitoring, they confirmed Dr. Volkov's findings. Every 43 seconds, the ground trembled. Subtly, almost imperceptibly, but measurably. Dr. Anna Lebedeva, the team's seismologist, wrote in her log,
"The tremor originates from a depth of approximately 200 meters. The epicenter is precise to within 3 meters. The magnitude varies slightly, between 0.8 and 1.3, but the interval is exact, 43 seconds. I've been monitoring for 6 hours, not a single deviation. No natural process maintains this level of temporal precision."
On March 20th, they began drilling. A narrow borehole, designed to reach the source of the tremors and extract core samples. They wanted to know what was down there, what could produce such regular vibrations. The drilling proceeded normally for the first 50 meters. Standard rock composition, granite, slate, sedimentary layers. Nothing unusual. But at 70 meters, the drill bit encountered something different. The drill operator, a veteran named Grigory Petrov, reported it immediately.
The resistance changed. Not harder rock, not softer. Different. The drill bit is cutting, but it feels wrong. Like drilling through something that's moving. that's yielding in ways rock doesn't yield.
They pulled up the first core sample from this layer. The rock looked normal. Gray, dense, igneous composition. But when Dr. Lebedeva held it, she noticed something. It was warm, not hot, just warm, like it had been sitting in sunlight. But it had come from 70 meters underground, where the temperature should be cold and constant. And then she felt it. A pulse. Subtle. Rhythmic. She held the rock sample to her chest and counted. Every 43 seconds, the rock grew fractionally warmer, then cooler. Breathing. Dr. Lebedeva's report from that day is clinical but disturbed.
Core sample 77C12 exhibits anomalous thermal properties. Temperature fluctuates between 18 degrees Celsius and 19 degrees Celsius in a regular cycle. Cycle duration 43 seconds. This corresponds exactly with the seismic tremor interval. Hypothesis: the tremors and thermal fluctuations share a common source. The rock is not causing these phenomena. The rock is responding to them.
They continued drilling. 80 meters, 90, 100. Every core sample from below 70 meters showed the same properties. Warmth, rhythmic temperature fluctuation, and something else. A texture. When you ran your fingers over the rock, it felt different from normal stone. Softer, more porous, almost organic. At 120 meters, the drill encountered a cavity. Empty space. The drill bit dropped suddenly, then stopped. They lowered a camera on a cable to see what was down there. The cavity was large, approximately 4 meters in diameter. The walls were smooth, almost polished, and they were moving. Not shifting or settling. Moving, expanding, and contracting, like the walls of a lung. The footage is in the archive. I've watched it 17 times. The camera descends into darkness, then the lights activate. The walls appear gray, striated, with a texture that looks almost like muscle tissue. And as you watch, the walls move inward, slowly, then move outward. Breathing. The entire cavity is breathing. Dr. Volkov's reaction was to order deeper drilling. He wanted to know how far down the breathing went, how large this cavity system was, what was causing it. They drilled to 150 meters. Another cavity, larger, 7 meters across. Also breathing, same rhythm, 43 seconds. At 180 meters, they broke through into the largest cavity yet. The drill bit dropped 15 meters before hitting bottom. When they lowered the camera, they saw something that shouldn't exist. The cavity was enormous, at least 30 meters in diameter. The floor was covered in a substance that looked like ash but moved when the air currents touched it. And the walls were not rock. They were something else. Something that glistened in the camera lights. Something that contracted and expanded with visible musculature. And in the center of the floor, there was an opening. A shaft leading deeper. Perfectly circular, descending into darkness beyond the camera's range. Dr. Lebedeva descended into the cavity on March the 28th, against protocol, against safety regulations. But she insisted. She wanted to see it firsthand. She wore a harness and carried instruments. She descended slowly, her helmet camera recording everything. The footage shows her reaching the floor of the cavity, stepping onto the ash-like substance. It compressed under her weight like soft tissue. She walked to the edge of the central shaft and looked down. Her voice on the recording is quiet, almost reverent.
It goes down forever. I can't see the bottom, but I can hear something, like wind, like breathing, but deeper, slower. This shaft is breathing, but at a different rhythm. I'm going to time it.
She stood at the edge for 12 minutes, counting. Then she reported.
This shaft breathes every 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Exactly. The smaller cavities above breathe every 43 seconds. There are multiple respiratory systems here, multiple rhythms.
Like this mountain is a body with lungs at different depths, all functioning independently but in harmony. When she returned to the surface, she was shaking, not from fear, from excitement. She told Dr. Volkov.
We found something alive. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it's possible. But the mountain is breathing because something inside it is breathing. Something huge. Something old.
April 1979. The project expanded. More equipment, more personnel, more drilling. They wanted to map the entire system, every cavity, every shaft, every breathing chamber. They found 14 major cavities between 100 and 400 meters depth, each one breathing at its own rhythm. 43 seconds, 2 minutes, 38 seconds, 7 minutes, 12 seconds. The deeper they went, the slower the breathing became. And the cavities were connected, not by natural caves or fissures, but by tubes. Smooth-walled tubes that contracted and expanded, moving air between chambers. A respiratory system, underground, functional, alive. Dr. Volkov tried to maintain scientific objectivity in his reports, but by mid-April, even he was using language that suggested the impossible.
The cavity system beneath Site 77 exhibits characteristics consistent with biological respiration. The chambers expand and contract in coordinated patterns. The connecting passages facilitate air exchange. The walls of the cavities are composed of a substance that resembles mineralized tissue more than geological formation. Working hypothesis. We have discovered a form of life that exists at geological scale. A living mountain.
On April 19th, they attempted to extract the sample from the cavity wall. They sent down a drilling team with instructions to cut a piece of the breathing tissue and bring it to the surface for analysis. The team descended to the 180-meter cavity. They positioned their equipment against the wall and began cutting. The drill bit penetrated easily, too easily for rock. And then something happened. The breathing stopped. All of it. Every cavity, every chamber. The entire system went still. Complete silence. The seismographs recorded zero activity. The mountain held its breath. The drilling team reported this immediately. Dr. Lebedeva ordered them to stop cutting and evacuate. But before they could extract, the breathing resumed. Not gradually, suddenly, all at once, and faster. The 43-second rhythm accelerated to 20 seconds. The 2-minute rhythm dropped to 45 seconds. The mountain was gasping. The drilling team evacuated successfully, but they left their equipment behind. The footage from the cavity camera showed the walls contracting more forcefully than before. The ash on the floor stirred into clouds. And from the central shaft, a sound emerged, deep, resonant, like a moan, like pain. Dr. Volkov ordered all drilling suspended. They would observe only. No more invasive procedures, but the damage was done. Over the next week, the breathing patterns became irregular, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes stopping for minutes at a time before resuming. The mountain was distressed, and people started getting sick. The first case was one of the drill operators, Mikhail Sokolov. He complained of chest pain on April 23rd. The medical officer examined him and found nothing wrong. Normal heart rate, normal lung function, normal everything. But Mikhail insisted something was wrong.
I can feel it breathing. Not the mountain. Me. My own breathing doesn't feel like mine anymore. It feels like something else is controlling it. Like I'm breathing in rhythm with something else.
By April 25th, 7 team members reported similar symptoms. Their breathing had synchronized. Not consciously, unconsciously. They would all inhale at the same moment, exhale at the same moment. When asked to breathe independently, they could, but the moment they stopped focusing, they'd fall back into synchronization. And the rhythm they synchronized to was 43 seconds. The mountain's rhythm. Dr. Lebedeva measured it. 17 people at the camp, 12 of them breathing in perfect synchrony. 43 seconds between each breath, exactly. She wrote in her log,
"The proximity to the breathing cavities is affecting the team's autonomous nervous systems. The rhythmic seismic vibrations are entraining their respiratory patterns. This is a known phenomenon in other contexts. Metronomes synchronize, pendulums synchronize, but this is happening at a biological level. The mountain is making us breathe with it."
On April 27th, Dr. Volkov ordered evacuation. The entire team would leave Site 77 and relocate to a base camp 15 kilometers away. They needed distance from the breathing mountain to recover their independent respiratory control. The evacuation proceeded smoothly. By evening, everyone was at the new camp. Medical checks confirmed that once removed from proximity to the site, team members' breathing patterns returned to normal within 6 hours. But Dr. Lebedeva stayed behind. She told Dr. Volkov she needed to collect final readings before abandoning the site. She promised to join them by morning. Dr. Volkov approved reluctantly. Dr. Lebedeva's final log entry, recorded at 23:47 on April 27th.
I'm in the main cavity, the 180-meter chamber, alone. I had to come back. I had to understand. When we were all at the surface, breathing with the mountain, I felt something. Connection, like I was part of something larger. And I need to know if that feeling was real. I'm sitting on the floor of the chamber now. The walls are breathing normally. 43 seconds. I've synchronized my breathing to match. 43 seconds in, 43 seconds out. And I can feel it. The mountain knows I'm here. It's aware. It's breathing with me, or I'm breathing with it. I don't know which. But I can feel something else, deeper, below this chamber, below all the chambers we've mapped. There's something down there. Something this entire respiratory system exists to sustain. The mountain isn't alive. The mountain is the lung. And whatever it's breathing for is far below. I'm going to descend. I'm going to see what's at the bottom. If I don't return, tell Volkov I finally understand. We weren't discovering something new. We were waking something old.
Dr. Lebedeva did not return. A search team descended into the cavity system on April 28th. They found her equipment at the edge of the central shaft in the 180-meter chamber. Her helmet camera was there, still recording. The footage shows her descending into the shaft on a rope, her lights illuminating smooth walls that pulse with rhythmic contractions. The footage runs for 47 minutes. Deeper and deeper, past chambers they'd never mapped, past respiratory structures of increasing size and complexity. And then the footage shows her reaching a final chamber. It's massive. The lights can't illuminate the far walls. The floor is soft, yielding, organic. And in the center there's something. The camera angle makes it difficult to see clearly, but it's large, curved, dark, glistening. And it's moving, rising and falling, breathing. Dr. Lebedeva's voice on the recording is barely a whisper.
It's here, the source. Everything we found above is just the periphery, the extremities. This is the core, the origin. Oh God, it's beautiful. It's been here for so long. Since before the mountains formed. Since before the continents shifted. It's been breathing all this time, waiting, and we found it. We woke it up.
The camera shows her walking toward the thing in the center. Closer. Closer. And then the footage distorts. The image breaks into static. The audio becomes a roar of white noise. And then nothing. The camera stopped recording. The search team found the camera at the 180-meter level. They did not descend further. Dr. Volkov ordered the shaft sealed with explosives. Fill it with rubble. Bury whatever was down there. Prevent access. The demolition was carried out on May 2nd. 40 kilograms of explosives placed at strategic points throughout the mapped cavity system. Detonation at 1400 hours. The explosion was successful. The cavities collapsed. The shafts filled. The entire breathing system was buried under tons of rock. And then the mountain screamed. Not literally, but the seismographs recorded it. A massive tremor. Magnitude 4.7. Emanating from deep below the site. Not a standard earthquake. A single pulse. Like a convulsion, like pain. And then silence. Complete silence. The rhythmic tremors stopped. The breathing stopped. The mountain went still. Dr. Volkov's final report, dated May 7th, 1979.
Survey site 77 has been successfully sealed. The anomalous seismic activity has ceased. Core samples have been destroyed as per protocol. All equipment has been removed from the site. Recommendation: the location should be designated off-limits to future geological activity. Reason: unstable ground conditions and low commercial value.
That was the official conclusion. But there's another document. A personal letter from Dr. Volkov to a colleague, never sent, found in his desk after his death in 1983.
Dmitri, I need to tell someone what we really found. What we really did. We discovered something living beneath the Urals. Something vast and ancient and patient. It had been breathing down there for millennia. Maybe millions of years. And we drilled into it. We got into it. We tried to sample it like it was a geological formation instead of a living thing. And when it reacted, when it tried to communicate through the only means it had, through rhythm, through breath, we panicked. We buried it alive. We collapsed its lungs and suffocated it. I don't know if we killed it. I don't know if something that large can die. But I know we hurt it. And I know it knew we were there. It was trying to breathe with us, trying to synchronize, trying to make us part of itself. And we responded with violence. I can't sleep anymore, Dimitri. Because when I do sleep, I dream I'm underground. Deep underground. In a chamber far below the ones we mapped. And I can hear it breathing. Slowly, painfully, struggling, and I know it's still alive down there. Buried, suffocating, waiting.
May 1979. Site 77 was officially closed. The location was removed from geological survey maps. The access roads were demolished. The mountain was left alone. But there are reports. Over the years, hikers in the region describe strange sensations. Dizziness, chest tightness, the feeling of being watched from below. Some report that when they stand still and hold their breath, they can feel a vibration. Deep, slow, regular, like breathing. In 1987, a seismologist analyzing historical data from the region noticed something. A pattern in background seismic activity. Very faint, almost imperceptible, but present. A micro tremor occurring every 7 minutes and 12 seconds, emanating from the coordinates of the old site 77. Not the same rhythm as before. Slower, weaker, but still there, still breathing. In 1993, after the Soviet Union collapsed, a team of foreign geologists requested permission to survey the area. The request was denied, no explanation given. When they pressed for details, they were told the site was environmentally contaminated and off limits indefinitely. In 2003, satellite thermal imaging of the region showed an anomaly. A heat signature beneath the mountain. Localized, consistent, fluctuating in a regular pattern. The analysis suggested geothermal activity, but the pattern of fluctuation was unusual, too regular, too precise. Every 7 minutes and 12 seconds, the temperature increases by 0.3 degrees Celsius, then decreases, then increases again. The mountain is still breathing. Slowly, weakly, but it's alive. I found one more document in the archive. A handwritten note, unsigned, dated 2011. Found attached to the original Site 77 files.
To whoever reads this, don't go there, don't investigate, don't dig, let it rest. We made a terrible mistake in 1979. We found something that should have remained hidden, something that exists at a scale we can't comprehend. Something that predates human civilization, maybe predates humanity itself, and we hurt it. We're lucky it didn't respond with more than a scream. We're lucky it didn't pull us down into its lungs and breathe us into nothing. Just let it rest, let it heal, and pray it doesn't remember us when it wakes up fully.
I've been researching this archive for 3 weeks. I haven't visited the site. I haven't even looked at maps of the region for too long. Because I've noticed something strange. My breathing has changed. I first noticed it 4 days ago. I was reading Dr. Lebedeva's final log entry and I realized I was holding my breath. Not intentionally. Just holding it. For exactly 43 seconds. Then exhaling. Then inhaling, then holding again. I've tried to break the pattern. I've tried to breathe normally. But when I'm not paying attention, when I'm focused on the documents, I fall back into it. 43 seconds. Hold, release, repeat. And last night I felt something else. A vibration, deep in my chest. Not my heartbeat. Something slower. Something that doesn't originate from inside me but feels like it's pulling me from below. Like something is trying to synchronize with me. Like something far away is breathing, and it wants me to breathe with it. I'm going to seal this archive now. I'm going to stop researching. I'm going to try to forget what I've learned. But I don't think it matters. I think once you know about the breathing mountain, once you've read the reports and heard the recordings and understood what's down there, you become part of it. Part of the respiratory system that spans hundreds of kilometers beneath the earth. Part of something that breathes in rhythms we were never meant to follow. I can feel it now, right now, as I write this. My breath is not my own. I'm breathing in harmony with something ancient, something patient, something that's been waiting beneath the mountains since before humans walked the earth. And it knows I'm here. It knows we're all here. Every person who's read these files. Every person who stood on that mountain. Every person who's felt the rhythm and started breathing along. We're all part of its lungs now. All of us. Breathing together. Breathing with the mountain. Breathing with whatever lies beneath. And someday, when enough of us have synchronized, when enough of us are breathing in harmony, maybe it will finally have enough strength to wake up completely. To rise, to emerge, to breathe free. 43 seconds. Hold, release. Can you feel it?